You're watching Slow Boat Fishing. I'm Mark, and today we're in the Slow Boat garage. Got a little project I'm working on. I'm going to put a floor mat or floor covering on my Old Town 120 PDL. It's the Gray Ghost Edition, and so I thought I'd walk you through it. I haven't watched any videos on it, how to do it, so there may be better ways that you can go about it. This is just what I came up with. I did see on the Old Town Facebook page someone using masking tape as to make their template. I don't remember where that post is, so credit to that person. I looked for a kit online. I didn't find one for the particular model that I have. I saw that they had one for the big water or the 132, and but I didn't see one for the 120. There may be one out there, but I just ordered the flooring from Amazon. Just searched boat deck material, and it came up and gave me a few options. I went with the diamond plate look, and I think more for surfboards or something like that, but matched my kayak and gave me some grip, and that's really why I'm doing it. Although it'll be 80% for aesthetics, it will give me some grip in the forward part of my cabin, which is what I'm looking for, since most of the time I'm standing on the plastic part and not on the provided mat from Old Town. That's way too far back near my seat, and I'm standing more forward, and it gets a little slippery because there's always a little bit of water in there. So I'll walk you through it. Okay, so you'll need an X-Acto blade, heat gun, some adhesive, some rubbing alcohol, and some masking tape. And if you're a little bit older like I am, you'll probably need some reading glasses because there's some real fine details that you have to cut. You also need, of course, the flooring that you're going to put down, and as you can see, this is all on a piece of plywood that I cut everything on. That makes it easy so you don't tear up your floor or tear up something else. So I already started the process here. The masking tape is where I'm going to make my template from, and what I did is I just grabbed some regular old masking tape, kept applying it like this. I'll show you when I start working on the other parts of the kayak. I just thought I'd show you this initial pattern here. I'm using this 1/4 inch razor blade that I got at Lowe's. I bought a little bit better one because I want it to be super sharp. As I overlap the tape and then I'm coming back and just tracing out where I want it, making sure not to cut into the kayak, just the tape. And if you got a real steady hand, you can get that where it's just cutting the tape and not your kayak. Although this plastic's very tough, and the tape is a lot easier to cut than the kayak, so I wouldn't get too concerned about that. And this is just the overall shape on this. Because this is the exact same size, I'm just going to use this right here and flip it over. So I only need to make one side. That way they're identical. But that's the design I'm going to go with. I'll probably clean up a little bit of it. As you can see here, I initially tried to cut this out with this blade, but I think I'm just going to cut it out with scissors once I pull this tape up. It's a little hard to get the exact because of the channel right here. Get my knife in there to make a good clean circle. So that's where we're going to start. Okay, I'm just going to continue taping in here and forming the rough outline. Okay, when you're making this template, once you get the initial shape of it, I go back and I reapply 2 or 3 layers of masking tape. That way when you go to lift up the template, it's all intact. Matter of fact, all the templates that I use for this, I still have, because I have a buddy who also has a 120, and I'm sure he's going to want to do this. Okay, I thought I'd just show you how I put the masking tape on and then cut around it. I initially had it up on elevated where I could stand up and do it, but I found being on the ground, as much as I don't like to do that, it's just easier. I could put my knee on it, put another hand on it, kind of make sure everything's still when I'm cutting it. It just seems to be easier, not necessarily on me, but for the cutting. I'll stick on there pretty good, just like that. And then I can cut, and then I'll use my metal yardstick. I picked it for Lowe's for about $6 as a guide, and I'll use it to cut on all the surfaces that I can see that are a straight line. So that's a little rougher shape, and then I'll go fine tune it, make sure it fits. You can always take material away, but you can't add it on. So I went ahead and sprayed the back of this with this multi-purpose adhesive, and now I'm going to put it on the kayak. Prior to putting the mat down, you need to clean off all of the wax and dirt with the rubbing alcohol. That's what I did prior to this scene. Overall, I think it went pretty good. It took me, I don't know, a lot of hours, more than you may think, because it's not that many pieces that are down. But there's a lot of precision in the way you have to cut it. Even with making the template, it seemed like, because the material is thicker than masking tape, that it takes a little bit more trimming to get it just right. I'm sure there's a better way to do this in a more simplistic method. And also, if you didn't choose a pattern, it would go a lot easier if it was just solid black or something like that. The diamond pattern is probably the most difficult to work with, being that it's directional. And depending on how you want it to look is how much time you're going to take doing it. Couple things that I learned was you definitely need that adhesive or whatever extra adhesive. I don't think just the backing that's on the back of it is going to be sufficient enough to stay down. I did use a heat gun at the end process. Some of it was rolling up a little bit. So just to get the contours of the kayak to match, heating it up seemed to get it to stick down pretty good. A little bit of the heat gun seemed to do the trick. So that's really my tip. You know, wipe it down with alcohol, get off all your wax or 303 that you have on there so it'll stick down to it. And then I showed you the rest of the process. If they sold the kit for the 120 and maybe I just didn't find the right vendor that sold it, I'd probably just buy it and make it again. Depending on the cost. I think this was right around $60 or $70 to purchase the mat, and then basically a handful of little tools that I bought from Lowe's that I could always use on something else. So overall, I think it turned out pretty good. I haven't fished with it yet, so hopefully it works out. And the whole point of me doing this, other than I just wanted to look good, was this part right here was the only mat that comes with the Old Town, and when I'm standing, I tend to be more forward, and I was slipping on the forward part of the cabin, and I wanted something a little more stable. And that's it from the Slow Boat Garage. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. We'll catch you next time.